This week's Tactical Tuesday is about Newaza and hunting for what we want. And I've chosen two of the very best. Munkhbat of Mongolia, former world champion, and Bilodid, of course, the up-and-coming star who was fighting actually in the second example to get through to her second world final, and she was to become a two-time world champion and not even 20 years of age. But both of them are absolute hunters. They know exactly what they want, and they take advantage of poor attacks in order to follow it down, and they are relentless with the end product, you could say. They know what they want, and they're not scared to change direction in order to get it. This example, Munkhbat against Guan of China. Munkhbat of Mongolia, one of the best at chasing down and taking advantage of somebody's poor attack. And she scored thousands of times with this, and she goes straight away down to secure for the Sangaku, and then what she does, sometimes she changes direction. And it's interesting because Guan, very aggressive fighter, was looking for her own tactical play with the Yoko Newaza, but she drops and she makes a mistake, and Munkhbat is right on top of her, and she never lets her go. Munkhbat of Mongolia, on your left there, one of the leading Newaza people in the ladies divisions and in the under 48 kilos category. She was the first woman world champion from Mongolia, and she is a chaser, what I call a chaser. Here she is up against Guan Humin of China, a very, very aggressive fighter, and she'll take the fight to Munkhbat. Munkhbat will be looking for the catch. She likes to go down to ground, any opportunity, and she will punish Guan, and she will take her down. So there's the aggression from Guan. Guan wanting to grip up. She knows that she's got to be careful when it comes to ground. So here's leading up to the first attack, and this is the danger here. Just play it back here. The Yoko Otoshi here from Guan. And straight away here, we can see that, and we can see here, the arm is over. So the whole intention here of Munkhbat is to keep Guan down on the ground. And of course, this here, the arm that catches for the Yoko Shihogatami, readjustment of the legs here. They move out the way fairly quickly, and Guan is in trouble. Almost the Osai Komi, but Guan just manages to turn. She turns onto her front, but look at this. Here's the second attack. And the second attack here is the leg in for the Sangaku, and she has two attacks in from this Sangaku attack. Does Munkhbat. Doesn't quite have the balance here, but comes up again, and she's going to go again. Pulls on the belt to get the head down, and Guan here in all sorts of trouble. And we can see here again the catch, the leg is in. She changes direction with this, and we'll have a look at that a little bit later on. All right, but she's looking for the Sangaku at this moment here. So now comes the Sangaku. So she rolls Guan over for the Sangaku. Guan, of course, very, very strong, resists, catches, and this is an important one here. She just catches the leg of Munkhbat. So no Osai Komi and no Sangaku at the moment. So she now has to tie the arm off, which is, in fact, what she does do here is she scoops the arm in to capture the arm of Guan. And so she has that shoulder under control. And now she needs to get the leg out. Guan comes back up. Munkhbat goes again, and this time she has the Sangaku. So this now looks as if it is a full-on Sangaku. She has the arm, she crosses the legs over here, and what she hasn't got, and we can't see it down here, but she hasn't got absolute control of the arm. So Juan manages, and you can see it here, here's the arm that's free, so she hasn't got control of that, so it's not quite where she wants it, Munkhbat, and Juan manages to bridge and turn. So she almost gets the Osai Komi there. The referee just about to call the Osai Komi. She's not settling at all there, Juan, and does really, really well to turn onto her front. Now she goes onto her back again and then switches to the other side. So great bit of Newaza, but look at this. She goes again, Munkhbat. And Munkhbat, the absolute chaser in Newaza, punished so many under 48 kilo fighters, sometimes fights under 52s as well to get stronger opponents. But mate, and it carries on standing. But what a Newaza exchange that was, and the hunter, Munkhbat, has told Juan exactly where she wants her. Juan felt the danger, and now her job is to avoid going down to ground again. Does well, she pulls in Munkhbat. Her tactics are here to pull Munkhbat in and to try for the Yoko Otoshi, but she gets a Shido there for the cross grip. Good tactics, though, from Juan, and she needs to upset Munkhbat as much as she possibly can, and she's looking for the Yoko Otoshi over to Munkhbat's right flank. So this big mistake, let's just have a look here, and for me, she goes down to ground, no rotation here, Munkhbat. She is absolutely in a perfect position here for attacking in Newaza. So here she goes again, and Juan lets that leg come in again. And here it is, the leg is in, this is her catch. And now what we're going to see is her switch. And what she does here is she scoops the arm and Sangaku's the legs. So you can see here that she's Sangaku'd the legs here, but now what happens is that she's going to change the direction, and the legs, her legs and her hips are going to go in this direction here. So when she actually moves, you can see that she's tied the arm up, and now she looks for the forward roll. And look at that. Here comes the forward roll. Remember that she has Guan's arm, and now the forward roll here, she applies the Udagarami on the arm, and the pressure takes Juan over onto her back. But it's not finished yet. So she could get the Osai Komi here, but she has the arm. And, well, she just sits up and applies pressure on that arm and immediately gets the submission and gets the ippon. Brilliant bit of Newaza there from Munkhbat. And that catch, let's just have another look at the catch here and how she does it. This was a mistake absolutely from Juan. She just stayed there too long. And just change of direction, scoops that leg in there. That's the catch. Then she changes direction. Look how she triangles the legs, and then just look how she goes for the forward roll. Forward roll all the way over, starts to apply the pressure on the arm, and then when she sits forwards there, all the pressure comes onto the arm here in order to get the submission. Brilliant bit of Newaza there from one of the leading Newaza specialists in the under 48 kilos category. Munkhbat Runsetseg has won thousands of contests with that particular technique, but she is a chaser. And in the end, she gets the ippon. Big mistake from Guan, and it's a mistake that she will learn from. The reason that I chose Bilodid against Munkhbat for my second example is because you have two great Newaza fighters. They both hunt and they both take advantage of somebody's weak attack. Both of them have it in their head that they are going to finish the contest off by chasing down, and they're not adverse to changing direction halfway through. So it doesn't always happen the first time, but they'll go in a second time and then they'll change direction, but they have it in their mind what they want right from the very beginning. Two brilliant Newaza people here go head to head in the semi-final of the World Championships, and it's a great match. The semi-final of the under 48 kilos category at the World Championships 2019, and of course Daria Bilodid of the Ukraine, defending world champion in white here, and she's up against the former world champion Munkhbat. And of course Daria Bilodid going for a second world title, not even 20 years of age here. And the tactics from these two fighters is very much about following down, transitioning into Newaza. Both of them extremely strong. Munkhbat, her tactics is just to find every opportunity she can to stop Bilodid. And Bilodid, well, she's got Tachiwaza and Newaza, as they both have, but just feeling each other out at the moment. But their main aim and their strengths is their transition. They have it in their mind exactly what they want to do. So they're both just getting a feel of each other there with the kumakata. They both get a shido for openers there. They've got to grip up at some stage, and then it's who makes the first mistake. And it's interesting because certainly Munkhbat, she doesn't get many people that attack her in Newaza. They daren't. So when you get good Newaza people fighting good Newaza people, it's a strange thing that people that are good in Newaza don't like somebody attacking them. They like to be the attacker. And now, let's just have a look at that. This is a mistake that Munkhbat makes immediately here, feels the danger of the arm coming over the top here, from Daria Bilodid. Daria Bilodid looking for this all the time, and she applies immediate pressure. And, well, this is very unusual. Munkhbat goes onto her knees here and leaves herself open. And we've seen on so many occasions where she takes advantage of fighters doing this. And look how Bilodid here directly in for the attack. She goes in for the Sangaku, and she has different rolls into the Sangaku from this position here. As soon as she has the head, she starts the movement. And of course, in order to escape here, Munkhbat starts to bring her head up and wants to stand up. She's made the mistake of letting this start. And this is the incredible thing here, that we can see now in a position here that, well, Munkhbat's head comes right the way up, but Daria Bilodid here, she is ready to change direction. This hand here is in some ways her pivot hand, and what she'll do now is pivot on that hand here to take her opponent down to ground. So now she has the Sangaku of the legs here, and it doesn't look as if it's close to the Sangaku. But watch this change of direction here. She has the head under control here, Bilodid, of Munkhbat. And now what she's going to do is she's going to use this hand here on the leg in order to help lift. And now the arm, so we can see the arm here now, grabbing the backside of Munkhbat. And the whole idea is to keep Munkhbat's head down. That's what she wants to do. She wants her to stay down in Newaza. And you don't see this very often because it's a good Newaza person here being outplayed on the ground. And you can see here now just how tight she has the head. Head is under control here, and she rolls Munkhbat onto her back here. Immediately here, the arm over the top of the leg here. She has great control of the head there with the legs. Sangaku is on with the legs here, and she gets the Osai Komi immediately. Osai Komi and Munkhbat is on the other end of what she normally does here. So she is the one that normally leads the charge. Both of them, their tactics in this match would have been to attack from the beginning, force a mistake, and the transition from both of these fighters is absolutely amazing. The transition, though, in this case was all Bilodid, and Bilodid has a little look up at the clock there just to see where she is, and she has to be a little bit careful that she doesn't put pressure on the knee, but she gets the ippon there, and Daria Bilodid is into her second successive world final against a really strong opponent. Munkhbat Uruntsetseg, of course, a former world champion herself, a great Newaza specialist, but she gets beaten to the punch. And I mean that in a metaphorical way, of course. She gets beaten to the punch, and Daria Bilodid, the rising star of this category, in the under 48 kilos category, is through to the final. Two great Newaza specialists there go head to head, and it's Bilodid that comes out the top. Coming soon, the latest addition to my ultimate study series, Uchimata, available on anyeffectivefighting.com.